Back to our top story. We are staying on top of this breaking news in Douglas County. A deputy there is in critical condition, and investigators are combing through two different shooting scenes near a shopping center just off E470 and Parker Road. Number 7's Marc Stewart is live, and we are awaiting an update from Sheriff Spurlock. Mark.
Here he comes.
And Shannon, we have been given a 6:15 start time for the press briefing with Sheriff Spurlock. As he walks up here to begin, the key question is the condition of his deputy, the deputy's identity. He has been at the hospital. We are going to get a briefing now from Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock. Let's take a listen.
Well, thank you all for giving me an opportunity to share some information. Earlier today, one of my officers was involved in a situation where there were shots fired. My deputy was shot and critically injured. A short time later, the suspect was shot and killed by another officer just a short time later. The most important part right now is that I ask the community two things. One, that you pray for my officer. I'm going to share his name here in just a moment. The power of prayer is important, and I think it can help him. He's in critical condition, and we need to do whatever we can. Also, the City of Parker has been great in helping us in this investigation. The City of Parker is pretty much gridlock in traffic, so if you don't need to come down to this part of the City of Parker, we'd ask you not to, because the roads are very clogged, and there's a lot of problematic with folks trying to get their kids out of school and just moving around on a Friday night. So thank you very much for that. The detective that was shot and injured is Detective Dan Bright. He's been with our office for 2.5 years. He is married to one of our sergeants, Christine Bright, who works in Special Investigations Unit of the Sheriff's Office. They are together at a hospital, and her children and their children together are there with family members. Other family members are on their way to this location, but they've all been notified. So I do ask again that you have your thoughts and prayers for Detective Bright and his family, and we're going to continue on with the investigation. We have two separate investigations going on, or two separate shootings, and with the assistance of the Colorado State Patrol, the Parker Police Department, and the District Attorney's Office, we sure feel that we will come to the conclusion of that. And the most important part for me right now is that Detective Bright comes out of this okay, and we can get him home with his family. I'll answer just a couple questions. There's a lot of stuff I cannot share yet, but I'll answer a few.
Can you spell Dan Bright?
Yeah, it's Dan, D-A-N, and it's B-R-I-T-E.
Can you clarify the events at the end of this scene? You have people saying a civilian, or perhaps it was a police officer plain clothes, shooting your suspect.
We had our impact team here involved in this. It just so happened that they were close by at the first shooting, and that's where Detective Dan Bright is assigned to. And so fellow officers were there. Obviously, this became mobile, so it may have appeared that there were civilians out here, but they were our detectives that were in plain clothes, and it was a police officer that engaged him at this location.
Thank you. What are the big questions that you still need to answer tonight?
Well, I got to be honest with you. The most important thing for me right now is Dan, and that he's okay. The questions of the investigation, it's clear to me from my officers that we have the suspect who is deceased. We'll work backwards from that. The 18th Judicial District Critical Response Team is conducting their investigation, and they will be able to provide me with more information about what caused this individual to do what he did.
Douglas County Sheriff Tony Spurlock briefing the press on that mess in Parker today. A suspect is dead in a shootout with police. The really important information, he just gave us the name of one of his officers who was shot. It is Detective Dan Bright. He was shot. He is in surgery in critical condition. He is married to another officer there in Douglas County, Christine Bright. She is a sergeant. She is with him at the hospital, as are their kids. And we are still, the sheriff there is asking for all of us to pray for his detective that he pulls through here. They said they got the bad guy, and they now will work backwards and fill in exactly what happened. School's on lockdown there for a while in Parker. It has all been resolved. The suspect is dead, and that detective, the only other person hurt, is in surgery right now. All right, we'll stay on top of that throughout the evening, update you on the Denver 7 app, on the denverchannel.com, and have a complete wrap tonight on the news at 10.